Hi, and welcome to week 2 of the Google Certified Educator course. So this video is just going to be a little bit about the Google Drive and kind of where everything is located, some ins and outs of that so that you feel more comfortable kind of navigating that for yourself during the scenarios. So as you can see on my screen, this is my actual Google Drive that I use, and it is pretty intense with stuff, a little messy. I could probably do some cleanup and organization here myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to an incognito window that I've opened, and I'm going to sign into a test account so that we can start with something that is a blank slate. So remember, if you go to Google, if you're not signed in to the browser, which up here you would see my profile picture if I was signed in. If you're not signed into the browser, you can sign in to Chrome here. And again, I'm going to use a student account that I have set up. The nice thing about Google Apps is that the student and teacher sides of things are not much different. So if your kids need help with something, it's not a completely different platform. It's very similar look and capabilities. Okay, so now I'm logged in. Here's my picture up here. And to get to Drive, we have a couple different options. We can use the bookmarks here and just go to Google Drive. You can type in drive.google.com and it will come up that way. Or, sorry about that, we can use the waffle over here and find the Drive icon and navigate to the Drive that way. So here's my Drive. A few important things in this area is where you'll see anything that you're creating or uploading. It's kind of like the dashboard and your view here. Over here you have a menu. This is really important for you to know the difference between what these boxes are, these choices are, and why they're important. And then you have your new button here. You also have a search option up here, which is nice because once you get to the point where you have a lot of resources in your Drive, you're going to want to use this search functionality to find your documents. One of the biggest complaints with Drive is I can't find what I'm looking for. So I always suggest to use a few shortcuts I'm going to show you to be able to find your documents easier. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at, your priority drive, we're going to ignore that for right now. The My Drive is the cloud. Think of this as your documents that are remote, so you don't have to be at your desktop computer in your classroom to be able to access these documents, which is really nice because sometimes we go home, we want to work on things, maybe it's an e-learning day or a snow day, and we want to work on things, and then we're like, oh, it's saved on my documents on my computer. If you save it to your Drive, you can access it anywhere that you have a computer and internet to get to your Google Drive. So you have your Drive here. Those are all your resources. You have shared drives, which we can get more into this later. A shared drive is, say, you and the other people on your team want to share resources. Maybe it is a parent log, maybe it is field trip forms or meeting forms or notes. You can create a shared drive and invite other people to be a part of that, and you can all add resources and materials to this shared drive. So it's a great place to collaborate with your peers. You also have Shared with Me, which is completely different. So Shared with Me are going to be documents that other people create that they want you to have some sort of access to, whether it's just a view access or comment or edit. So those documents would show up here. You also have a recent and a starred. These are important because if there's something that you're working on during a period of time, it will show up under recent, the last few things that you've opened since you've been in your Drive. So that makes it easier to locate your files as well. You also have the starred button, which is like a favorite. So if you star something, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment, it's going to show up in the starred folder. And then you have your trash. Okay, so that's what the menu over here is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the new menu. There's a folder option. So as you can see, I have a Google resource folder here. That will help me keep things organized. So if you want to create a folder for your Google resources, you can click on folder and you can retitle it. I'll name this one Google Certification. And now I have 2 folders. Okay, and then I can double click inside of those and I can add materials to those folders. Okay, if I want these to stand out, and be a little different, you can right click on the folder and I can decide that I want to change the color here. So maybe I want it to be red to make it stand out from my Google resource folder. Right clicking will also let me rename the file. It'll also let me download it. So if I wanted to bring it down to maybe take it with me somewhere, or I wanted to put it back into Word form or put it into Word form anyway, if I had some documents in there, you can download that. You can also add to starred here. So if I add the star to it, now when I go into my starred folder, there's that folder there for me. So it'll be a lot easier to find. You can also right click and share. There's two ways to share a folder. You can share with one person. So I can click here and I can type in the one person that I want to share it with. Then you can also give them different editing rights. Or you can right click and get a shareable link. The sharing is private right now, so it's turned off, but if you just toggle this over to the right, you'll get a link. And if for some reason you need something other than a view setting, you can go to shared settings. And here, anyone at School City of Hammond with the link can view. We can change that to can edit, or we can go to more and say that anyone with the link can open it without a sign-in to their School City of Hammond account. And we'll get more into these things as well later on when we get to Google Docs and such, but that's how you would share a folder. Okay? If you want to upload documents that you already have created in, say, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, you can do that too. So if I want to upload a file that I'm working with, but I want to make it more collaborative in Google Docs, I can do a file upload. And it should kick you over to your documents. So here's my documents. And I know that I have an activity on here, and I'm just going to search for it for time. So here's a Word document. It's a reader response for the book Outsiders. I double click on it and you can see down here on the right side, it's uploading my item. Okay. Important to note, I have something set so that when I upload a Word document, it automatically makes the conversion to Google Docs. The way you can tell is down here you see the blue W, that means it's Word. Here you see the blue sheet of paper, that means that's in Google Doc format. So when I open it up, here's that document. It looks exactly the same as it did as a Word document, but now it is completely collaborative. So I can make changes to it. I can share it out using the blue share button at the top. Again, we'll get to that when we get to Google Docs. But now it is in my drive, so I don't have it housed on my computer. Okay, if I wanted to put this into one of my folders, I would just grab it and drag and drop it right into the folder, and now it's going to be nice and organized in there. Okay, so let me show you where that conversion is. It's under your settings in your drive. Right now I have convert uploads and I have that box checked. I'm going to show you what happens if I didn't have that checked, because you won't. By default, it's not on. So if I went to new file upload and I grabbed a different Word document, so let me get this progress reports for teachers document. See the difference when it uploaded? It kept it in Word format because I hadn't done that conversion. So now when I open it, I have this black frame on the outside and I cannot change or edit anything in the document. I can still technically share it with people, but they won't be able to do anything to it because it's not in Google Doc format. If I wanted to make it in Google Doc format, I can do that conversion automatically, or right up here, open with Google Docs, I can click on that and it's going to open a copy of this document in Google Docs, which makes me be able to come in here and make changes and share it with people so that they can collaborate on it. Okay. So that's uploading files. Folder upload works the same way. Creating folders to keep yourself organized. Down here, you'll notice this is where you're going to create new Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Forms, and Drawings. You probably don't have these three on your list because those are things that I've added to my account, but you should always have the four main Google Doc apps: Docs, Sheets, Slides, Forms, and Drawings. Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of my drive. If you have any questions, you can always reach out, or you can take a look at the how-to that I have also included for you to do the scenarios. Thanks so much for watching.